The Nigerian Senate has commenced moves to pass the Federal Capital Territory 2025 budget of 1.78 trillion naira. The Senate leader Opeyemi Bamidele had led the debate on the bill after the Senate President Godswill Akpabio read the letter urging the Senate to pass the budget.
On the general principles of the FCT Statutory Appropriation Bill 2025. The bill was read for the first time today, being Wednesday, 14th day of May 2025. The 2025 FCT Statutory Appropriation Bill seeks to authorize the issue from the Federal Capital Territory Administration Statutory Revenue Fund of the Federal Capital Territory Administration account the total sum of 1,783,823,708,392 naira only.
Well, after the debate, the senators unanimously passed the bill for second reading and thereafter referred to the Senate Committee on FCT to revert back in 1 week.
All intent and purposes, we have seen the revolutionary infrastructure taking place, and all we need to do as the State House of Assembly of the FCT is to keep on tracking revenues and the utilization of those revenues. And then Senator Alero had also made mention and Abiru on the issues of extending these legacies to other areas of concern, particularly education and security. It is imperative by the time the FCT minister spent his 4 years here, I am sure this city will remember the very fundamental work that he has done. All of us who have lived in this city for quite some time will agree that talking about doing things differently, this is what the current FCT minister is doing. We are seeing more action everywhere, and we all know that you cannot have a beautiful omelette unless you bake some nice eggs. So you need budgetary support to sustain the infrastructural development that we have seen. And I am also aware, going around, that areas that have been neglected in the past, where the natives or low density areas, the current minister is extending infrastructure to those areas. If you go to the suburbs, you will see that a lot of work is being done to open up those areas with roads and other necessary infrastructure. But with this opportunity I've given to me, Mr. President, I want to speak as a land economist, land resource economist, and an estate surveyor and valuer. I'm a fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. I want to speak on something that has been worrying me, which is the high cost of land in the FCT. Lands have become so exorbitant. And last year, when we debated the bill, I pointed out that the only way we can bring high cost of land down is by opening up new areas. Abuja is planned in a concentric circle. From the center, we develop outwards. There are so many layouts in Abuja that have been allocated to individuals, but infrastructures have not been provided those places. That is what is making the prices of land to be very all intent and purpose.
Well, the bill, according to the Senate, seeks to amend to, among other things, address infrastructure development and job creation, as well as other critical sectors like education, health, agriculture, amongst others.
A bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Federal Capital Territory Administration's Statutory Revenue Fund of the Federal Capital Territory Administration account the total sum of 1,783,823,708,392 and 83 billion 823 million 708,392 naira only.
A breakdown of the bill shows that 150 billion naira is for personal cost, 343 billion naira is earmarked for overhead cost, while the balance of 1.28 trillion naira is for capital projects.